I love it. I love it. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the morning show. Oops, sorry, wrong button there. It is Monday, May 17th, and we are just having an awesome kickstart to our morning. That's what this is all about, is helping you kickstart your morning. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. Hi, TikTok. And of course, we got Clubhouse going. You know we got Clubhouse going because we got some people in the Clubhouse. We got Billy and Kayla McCool. What's up, Team McCool?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I love it. I love it. Is it a Monday?
Oh, it's the Mondayest of Mondays, dude.
Monday on Mondays. Hey, hey. Well, how did your weekend go, guys?
Did you say service or weekend?
Either. Both. Your weekend.
Well, we...
Uh-oh. I wish y'all could see my face right now. Guys, I don't know what that means. Living inspired.
We've been talking about, I was a part of the 30-day challenge, and I talked to you about how that went. And, I was like, you know what? I'm going to actively do things that are going to, hype myself up, make myself feel good about me. So I want to do better. And then, I had some, being a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I want the house is a huge deal to me. And so this weekend was like, I'm doing it. I'm tackling a few things. And the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to get a new hairdo. I've had long hair for a long time. And any ladies listening to this, it's like when a lady's ready to change her life, when she's about to do something drastic, what does she do first? She cuts her hair. She gets a new haircut. She gets a new color done. And I went to the salon to get both. And we were doing something pretty drastic, and the lady, along with their supervisors, were like, yeah, let's do this. And the cut is gorgeous. Like, the cut of my hair is awesome. You can go on my page and see that. You can find me on TikTok and find that the cut of my hair is awesome. And I was supposed to walk out with, gray and, a teal, a pretty teal blue hair, teal blue and purple hair. My hair turned green.
Really?
Yeah. Now, they're going to fix it for free. They're going to fix it, but my hair needs to kind of breathe for a while. Now, they sent me home with some shampoo to kind of strip the color.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I am walking what looks like, what it feels like now, because people told me I did go to church yesterday. That I feel like I have swamp hair, but I'm
swamp hair.
If anybody is able to rock this swamp hair, it's gonna be me, and I'm rocking it. I'm just gonna go with it, and we're just gonna be as confident as ever.
I love it.
So that happened, and then yesterday, I struggle a lot with house stuff. Like, my house is my job. My house is my job, and I struggle with that a lot. And learning how I didn't have a mom who was a housewife or a house mom, and so I'm having to learn what that looks like. And yesterday we found a system that really worked for us, which is a huge win.
Cool.
Which makes me feel like I can get closer to my health goals. I know that sounds a little disconnected, but it's, to me, all of it's connected, because when the house feels good, I feel good, and I'm not as stressed.
Right.
My environment is not chaos.
Yep.
I'm gonna do better because I feel better. Like how you said, with the supplements that you use, Like, I do better because I feel better, and that's the house for me.
Yeah.
And so yesterday we dominated the kids' room, which I know you got 2 girls. I've seen that playroom, dude, and that's exactly what their room looked like. Like, it was Toys R Us.
Fun time.
In the room, man. It was legit. Like, if you put like the Walmart toy aisle with Toys R Us, that's my kids' room, because my kids' birthdays are in September, December, and then we have Christmas. So
Boom.
we went through it, and the kids are old enough that they helped us. And I found a thing on TikTok, and we tried it, and it was magical. Like, I implemented 3 new things in one day successfully.
Cool.
And that's huge. Like, that was massive. Like, so this morning, I'm not stressed out. My house, I can walk and not be fearful in stepping on a Lego.
That's a real fear, people. That's a real fear.
Dude, yes. Have you ever stepped? Oh, no. You know what? You got girls.
Have you ever
stepped on a small Minnie Mouse figurine?
Oh, plenty.
Holy Lord above.
Plenty.
That'll get you close to God real
It's
quick.
the worst.
So
John
that
Raphael.
was our day. We had an awesome service at church. Pastor brought the word.
Good.
The kids were talking about fruit of the Spirit, and we've had a really great weekend, all considering. Lots of lessons and learning experiences, and man, like I felt on top of the world, because by 9 p.m. last night the kids were asleep. Oh, Jesus! And my house was clean.
Sweet.
So how was your weekend?
That's awesome. I love that. Like, before we dive into that though, like you gave us like a list of things, but you didn't tell us the things. I'm curious. What did you do? Like, what's the things?
Awesome.
We want to learn.
Okay, so I get overwhelmed easily.
Okay.
I have a hard time prioritizing, and so the first thing is laundry is a problem. Oh my God, laundry and dishes are the bane of my existence. And so I learned on TikTok, this mom who has ADHD and has a rather large family. She doesn't fold her clothes. So I followed her. We have these cubicles for the kids' toys, but they really don't use them. So I bought these collapsible boxes that fit like perfectly inside. And they have each kid has 4 boxes. And each box has like the one box has their underwear and their socks.
Mm-hmm.
One box has their pajamas, because my kids had they had a lot of pajamas.
Pajama mama.
Yes, they have a lot of pajamas, and my mother-in-law, my wonderful mother-in-law, she buys a lot of pajamas, like, to all the grandkids.
Honey, she's a giver.
She is like, that is like, I never have to worry about clothes or at all. Clothes and shoes, like, she just shows up like, hey, guess what I got for them? And it's always amazing stuff. Like, I don't know how she's, anyway, regardless. Mm. So they have 1 box for their underwear and socks, 1 box for their pajamas, a box for their shirts, and a box for their pants or shorts. And then, like, their dress clothes and their dresses hang up in the closet. And I'm going to tell you that has cut down on my anxiety for laundry, because I don't have to fold it. And honestly, when you pick them out, about 2 minutes after you take them out, they're not wrinkled. That's the whole thing that the generations, and even my generation, like, oh, you don't want your clothes to be wrinkled. And I'm like, if they're wrinkled, I have a steamer, and we'll just steam that mug. It's fine.
With mug or clothes? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So I released myself from that an unrealistic expectation for myself.
Uh-huh.
I've had to realize that for me, folding the laundry perfectly and then the kids literally going in and tearing into it or just being all over the floor, you know what? And it hurt my heart. And they can't know that. But, like, it was just, like, defeating to know that that was going to happen. So, literally just dumping them in these bins and walking away, so freeing. So that's the first thing I did. And I do have that for...
I badly need right now to be like Mike Myers and Mariska Hargitay.
Oh, Bill.
Sorry.
Hey, you know what though? Real quick, Bill, I got to know, how's that lava lamp going? That was the best. That was the best.
That is the one and only time I've appeared on TikTok. I was excited. I have severe anxiety and social anxiety, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try something different than Xanax to help.
Yeah.
And
but like lava lamp.
Well, yeah, and I got me a little curtain that's circular, and I put it around my favorite chair, so it's like a little cocoon.
Yeah.
But I love lamp.
Yes.
I decided I wanted to order the lamp, and I looked at it. It was a picture of it on a nightstand, and I did not happen to notice there was a drop-down menu for height. And
Dude, that's awesome.
It set itself at the highest height, and when this package came in, I swear it was the size of a nightstand.
Yeah. Hey, what is it? 3 foot tall? 2 foot tall? What was that?
Yes, it is a 27-inch lava lamp.
Dude, this is the best.
It's ridiculous.
I think the funniest thing is just that I wish I could have seen your face when you opened the door and just saw this massive, if it would have been me, it would have been like, Brittany, what did you order? What is this? What did you do? Wait, that's my name. I didn't order that. Wait, what? Like I'm just playing this out in my head. And I just get tickled thinking about it. It's awesome.
I mean, it's better than it being one of those, you order it and then it comes in as a little miniature lava lamp.
Yeah, absolutely. Black. This is no good. Now you've got just, the family heirloom now.
Right. You're right. It is a family heirloom. It literally takes 5 hours to warm up the gas.
You just don't even unplug it. You just have to just let it go. Just keep letting it go. But it also serves as a hot water heater in the event yours goes out. You just plug it into the water hose, man, and let it flow, baby.
It's the best thing ever. It just...
I love it.
Yeah.
Y'all got to check that out. It's on TikTok. Mrs. McCool. Well, no, it's Mrs. 2 McCool, right?
Correct. Yeah. Mrs. 2 McCool.
Mrs. 2 McCool. Billy gets a lamp. Story time.
Yeah. Lava Lamp Part 1 and 2. Make sure you watch both because, oh my gosh, it's worth it. It's worth it. I need to do an updated video to actually show it in
like being used. We want to know that this thing got used. It is not in the next garage sale, right? Because I might have to come pick it up there, Clark.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely the kids love it too. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. The kids still sit in front of it and go, whoa.
That is awesome. I love it. Okay, so anyways, you put clothes in the totes. What else?
I put clothes in the totes instead of folding them,
Mm-hmm.
and then a few things get hung up. Okay, so I released myself of some expectations that, yeah. So then another thing was I took every toy. We said we're gonna tackle the kids' room, and this can actually work in any room. We said we're gonna tackle the kids' room. So we borrowed a table from the church, and we took every toy, just toys, every toy, not stuffies because there's 1,000 of them, and we have a net up top. So every toy that was going to be on the floor,
yeah,
or even in a box,
mm-hmm.
every toy came outside. Or some people do it like in a different room, but we needed it to be outside because our house is small.
Mm-hmm.
So we took it outside. And so we said 15, we were only going to work in 15-minute increments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I bought a timer. Again, got on off TikTok.
Mhm.
I got a timer and from Walmart, Kroger, or whatever, little kitchen timer.
Mhm.
That is like an analog one that like not beeps but like goes off incessantly, has a bell.
Ticks and all that. Oh, like
Right. Yeah.
I don't know why I had to sound like that. Sound like that dude on Dumb and Dumber after he took a swig. Y'all get out of here.
So we took everything out, and the kids helped us. We said, okay, what do you want to keep, and what do you know, anything that didn't have all of its parts, we need to throw away. And we had to, teach the kids that just because we might find that one small part, in 2 years from now, doesn't mean that we need to keep the whole game, or because we're missing some pretty. Like, we need to be able to throw this away. And they ended up being okay with it. And so we went through all the toys. And then we had what was left on the table. And the rest of it, we had a big, big black bag. Now, there was no tears, but I think it was because we did 15 minutes, and then they got to go play in the backyard for 15 minutes. And then when that 15 minutes was over, they had a break. Then they came back and we continued working. I'm telling you, there was no crying, there was no shouting. They legit was like ready to do the thing. And again, the thing was that we broke it up in 15-minute increments.
Yeah.
So after their break and after we had gone through all the toys, now it was time for the toys to find a home. And they were in charge of putting their own toys back into their room. We have a toy box, bottomless pit, but okay, so we have these dress-up clothes. Well, guess what? I have an extra.
I'm sure there's an old dragon in chains down there somewhere.
I'm pretty sure.
Revelation.
There it is.
We're just. She eats toys. Her name is Ramona. So that's what we did, and honestly, it didn't take us hardly any time. Had I not had the timer and set the expectation, and had we not did everything that we did, it would have taken us days. And I know this because I've been through this before so many times with the kids, and because I want them to be involved in. Because Davis tells you, Mom, why do I have to be a part of this? I said, okay, this is your toys, not mine. If you don't want any toys, not threatening him or anything, I said, honey, if you really don't want any toys, you don't have to have toys. You literally can give them all away. But if you want these items, you get to choose what items you want to keep.
Mm-hmm.
And, you get to put them where they go. Again, that's where they're going to live forever. Like, he had bought, about a year ago, he bought his very first Mario Kart remote control car that he absolutely loves. He's like, oh, I want to keep this. I'm like, great. It needs to find a home, and that's where it's going to stay. So now it's on a pedestal, and it stays there. And that literally, we did that with everything. We came inside after they put their toys up. I was like, hey, let's keep this going. So we set another 15-minute timer. I'm like, hey, I got some new cleaning toys. I need you, because Davis is pretty tall. I was like, hey, why don't you take this new Swiffer situation and clean all the fan blades, because our ceilings are not very tall. So he was able to do like again, it's just like 15 minutes. We worked together with my 3 and 5-year-old, and we cleaned the whole house. Like, the dishes were done, the laundry was done,
Let it be.
the toys were done. And so implementing those 3 things, the bins for laundry, because now they have more control over their own laundry. I can say, like, hey, you know where these go, put them up. Within reason, of course. We set a 15-minute timer. We work for 15 minutes. We rest for 15 minutes. You can do anything you want to do for the 15 minutes. And then when we had like a big project, we took everything out, assessed, and then one by one put things up where we want them to go. And now my kids know where all their toys are. And so that's what we did yesterday after church.
Boom. Honey, you cleansed the temple. Twice.
I took a shower. Does that count?
honey, it all counts. Washing. You've been washed, son. I love it. Well, that's very awesome.
Morning, Martinez.
Morning, morning.
Martinez.
Good people of the Most High. It is always a pleasure
My
listening,
God.
growing. I'm absorbing, receiving all of it.
My Lord, that is
And-
quite a.
Yes.
That is some exhortation.
You-
Right here. Well, hey, surround yourself with great people of God, and that's all you got is, good things to say, just promising things to say.
Yeah, I'm out. I think he covered it. That's great.
he done did it. He done did it. You know what's fascinating about what you are telling, Kayla, is, number one, what you have done is you have solved a stressful situation by creating a system. And one of the coolest things I've ever heard a great acronym to use system for is save yourself time, energy, and money. System. Save yourself time, energy, and money.
I love that.
Well, let me tell you something that is very fascinating about what you are doing. And I think this might be something fun. You do Audible, right?
Oh yes, I'm dyslexic, so that's the only way I read.
Well, I listen to you. I have a book recommendation for you, okay? Because what you have found in your home, you can have for your entire life. It's a guy named David Allen. You may have heard of it. You may have already heard about this. If not, your mind is going to just be blown because some of the things you're doing is going to make more sense. It's called Getting Things Done.
I've not heard of that one.
We came across it in I don't know, 2012, 2013. It's not a recent book, but it's literally the principles that he taught are things that literally run my life. Like there's some little quirky things that when I ask people to do something, at first they're kind of like, ooh. I'll give you a great example. Okay. If somebody needs me to do something for them, like in a business sense, I say, email me this word, or, just send me an email. Why? Because that's a part of my system to make sure that I process and that's the whole idea. It's the art of stress-free productivity. The reason that a straight home makes you feel better is no different than a clean desk or a clean car, because what it says about you is everything is put in its place, everything is in order, and now I've created a sense of control. I'm not saying that it puts you in control, right?
Yes.
We understand, but it's a sense of control. And here's what he says: the system needs to work when it all falls apart. In other words, when you do get punched in the face, you need to be able to get back up and still know where everything is, because it's a system. And the principles that's taught in that is some of my opinion, the greatest way, because he talks about, he said, look, a lot of people now in this era of, intellectual work, mind work, man, you keep it all up in your head. It's no different than your computer that's getting clogged. Like your computer, that's the power of the iCloud, right? Get that stuff off your hard drive. Get it into another system.
So what we're saying is essentially, you are not in control of input and information because that comes from an external source. You are in control of how you categorize it or what system you put it in.
For sure. And in fact, what happens is he said, look, you need to have a specific inbox. And what I mean by, that's a proverbial thing, but it's also a tangible thing. And he says, look, here's what you did. Let me explain the process. You took a table outside and said, this is the inbox. And now I'm going to take all inventory, put it into the inbox. And from this point, there's only 2 to 3 options that can happen. There are no gray areas. It's this, or this. And for him, and he branches this out, but he says, look, there's 3 options. Number 1, it requires my action. So I put it in the action category. Number 2 is no action, but I need to keep on to it. It's a reference, like an insurance policy or, paperwork, right? I need to put it somewhere that I can get to it easily. And the third option is get rid of it. It has no place. Am I going to do this, use this, whatever, 12 months from now? If no, it's done. I don't even think about it. And you just process the inbox to set yourself up for the next layer of stuff. So when I tell people, hey, send me an email that says blah, 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 I do that because I process my inbox every day. Like that's like when I get off of here, I'm going to look at my email and I need to find what does anybody need from me today? What have I asked of myself? I'll email myself reminders. Like, oh, I need to. It's a really interesting read, and the idea is the principles of how organization plays a role in your stress, your mental well-being, right? Your emotional well-being. It's real.
Absolutely.
For
because
real.
When you're stressed out, you're like, I can tell you, for me, past few years, and like I can tell you how I feel this morning, like looking at this and knowing that the rooms are like clean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a couple other things I got to get done, but for the most part, the main areas of my house are clean and fairly organized in our own way that works for us. I mean, it works for anybody else, but it works for us. I was living in survival mode, so I felt like, because another thing I did was I now have a trash can in every room of my house. A very small trash can. I have a small trash can in every room of my house. And that way it's more likely that the papers and the stuff are going to end up in the trash can than on the floor.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day or the week, I can all put it in one big trash can. But again, it gives me the opportunity to cut down on clutter. I was living in survival mode. Like I felt like I could not. I didn't make good, healthy choices for myself and my body because I had all of these tabs open in my brain of the things that I had to do, and they were all running simultaneously, and it became overwhelming. And I legitimately just set myself up for failure. Sure.
I get it.
I set myself up to feel failure. Let's say that, to feel failure.
No, I completely get it.
So I had to figure out and like today, I feel like now I'm not just shoving something in my mouth or my face, or like I feel like now I can have a plan for lunch. Now I'm not gonna look down and go, holy macaroni, it's 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten and I've got a headache and I'm starving and I'm grabbing goldfish to, so I feel like just these few steps are going to impact my next 30-day challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Well, here's what it is. It's the philosophy of when I say discipline, like I love this. I heard, how is it worded? Somebody said this. They said that they said discipline is motivation that's matured. In other words, it started out as this is, I'm euphoric about it. I love this. And then now I've built that muscle where, like, in other words, like, here's the kind of the cool thing. The system eventually runs you, but it's by your own design, right? So like what you're even saying is, I know this is the right thing. I don't really have to think about it. I don't have to react. I'm actually responding to what I already said in the beginning. And then all of a sudden you actually find other things to build on those other things, right? I'll tell you one that happens for me every so often. I should probably get smart. I should probably get smart and just lock this in. But like this morning, well, let me say this, long story short, my weekend was a weekend of vomit. Adley's been sick all weekend, and she's doing much better. Much better. But yeah, she's been pretty pitiful. But that being said, you know, you still have to maintain the house and do those things. So we've been trying to catch up on laundry. So this morning, on my way out to the gym, it dawned on me. I was like, oh, well, shoot, I'll be gone for about an hour 15. If I put in a load right now and come back, it'll be ready for the dryer.
Right.
So I did that, and then I was like, oh, that's perfect. That makes sense. Oh, by the way, I'm getting ready for the day, and I got to I might as well put another load in the laundry, right? Like, so by the time we get done with this stream, we've got 2 loads done just because I took 3 extra minutes in something I'm already, I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I found 3 minutes in stuff I'm already doing. I'm leveraging time now. And like I said, if I'm smart, and hopefully I am, come on, Jason, get smart. I'll try to, you know, ramp that in and make that like a deal. So that way now I'm not saying, you know, I'm not overwhelmed. Oh my God, we got to get this. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I've got a flow. Don't you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why didn't you say so?
We started the same thing, kind of, sort of, is that, so at night, we started running because, you know, after baths, we are running our washing machine at night. And then I set my dishwasher for 2 hours after I start the washing machine. And so by the time I wake up, I've got a load that needs to go into the dryer, and I got a load of dishes that are clean and ready to be put up.
Perfect. That's perfect.
And I'm like you, like if I can set this into my routine,
mm-hmm.
And the same mom that I follow on TikTok that I kind of got most of those I'd say tricks from, you know, the stuff that I just talked to you about. She has a nightly routine that she has a list of like 7 things that she does every night, regardless, and she sets her timer for 15 to 20 minutes, and she gets it all done. Because she has the same issue as me, is that I feel like this is going to take a long time. Like, I feel like if I don't set the timer, like I feel in my mind that this is going to take a long time, and reality says, no, it's probably only going to take 15 minutes of your time. Watch and see. And
wait, did you say watch and see or wash and see?
So, you know, I think that you and we're just learning how our lives work and how we can set ourselves up for success. It doesn't mean that our parents or our grandparents, you know, when we learn from them, doesn't mean that what they did was wrong, that was right for them. But in our day and age, where we have so much like input happening, so much coming in, so many responsibilities, so many things that we are, and also we're way more accessible. Even in ministry, like we're way more accessible now than we were even 10 years ago. And so we've got calls and we've got all of these things, all these inputs coming in. And for me, like I said, I get overwhelmed extremely easy because I want to do everything very well, but I'm doing so many things not so good.
Yeah, I get it.
And it takes a hit personally on the inside, like, again, not feeling a failure, but, you know, I really feel like and I'm going to read that book. I'm going to listen to that book definitely, because it sounds like it's something that I've been looking for. Is I've told Bill, even just since we moved into this house, like, if I could just have a system, if I could just get a system down that has a flow and a work with me, that I'm working with it and not against my natural way of being,
mm-hmm.
but encourages me and sets me up for success, I want to have a plan because I don't want a plan to fail. I want that. And I feel like, I'm really, really wanting this to work. And yesterday was a really, really awesome start.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you this. It's kind of funny that we're kind of talking about some of this because, I call them the precious saints, right? It's people that have been doing life, especially those in church, for decades. So, even though my parents are still relatively young, I still consider them a quote, the precious saints. And I say that because it's funny. They're seasoned, and I look at them because I'll tell you this, some of this stuff that I'm finding myself doing and is helpful, they did it, and I just subconsciously must have, for instance, I have to make it. I plan my day literally on paper every day.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this: my best days are planned, right? And I found out that's what my dad does. But even this laundry thing, now that I'm thinking about it, my mom used to do that all the time. She would come home for lunch, and before she started lunch, she's like, "Let me put this load in, and then when I leave, right, it'll be ready to, So when I get home, she learned to leverage her time. So it's just kind of funny how, sometimes when you go back to, what's no different than us going back to the Bible, you don't just read the Bible once. Right. And think you got it. You did not get it. You got something, but man, you got to go back and mine out because there's some things that were missed. There's some, that's what happens, man. People that you got to keep digging. And so it's just interesting. Even these conversations, we're digging things back up. There are things that maybe at one time you were doing, I was doing, Martinez was doing, and it's you know what? I think that might even be even though the stirring up in the context is fanning, but let's just, create the application of hey, I think we are rekindling ideas that maybe we hadn't thought about in a while. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. That's why I love I wanted to hear what you were doing because I'm always fascinated how people, number one, you're doing something that's helpful. And number two, you're getting good results with. So I appreciate you sharing that. Martin, you quiet, my friend. You're just soaking it in, aren't you?
Yes, sir. And I apologize.
Don't apologize. I just wanted to give you a moment to say anything.
I was talking earlier in the phone. I got a call from Robbie, and I think it stopped me from talking or whatever. I didn't know that would be the case. It muted me from the clubhouse, I think.
Shut you down.
But I heard a lot of things. 30-day challenge, organizing, processing. All good stuff. Is there another 30-day challenge? I tell you what, and I don't want to change the subject if you all are on something in particular. Are we talking about organizing? Is that what we're picking up?
That's kind of what we have found ourselves in. Kayla was giving us some cool stuff. She had an amazing Sunday yesterday. She implemented some strategies that she's learned.
Yes.
And she was just talking about it, and it kind of reminded me, maybe you've heard of this. Did you ever read David Allen's book, Getting Things Done, back in the day?
No, I haven't, but I remember you did share some clips of it,
yeah,
there in the open house, and it sounds fantastic. I get that. I mean, as far as organizing, as far as, emails and having them placed in 3 boxes, either an action list or, resource list for later, a reference list or a trash list. But, and so that's, it's kind of what you hinted on earlier as far as digging stuff up. We dig stuff up because we and pulling back out because we want to did today to help my organization a little bit better. It helped me process things a whole lot better. I started this morning is, I've started the 30-day 12 minutes of prayer challenge.
Ain't that awesome?
Yeah, and so like between 4:30 and 5 a.m. in the morning, I need to be praying. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And so no later than 5. It could be earlier than 4:30, but no later than 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And so not to get into it because I know we're kind of on the back end of time, but it's like, I tell you, I forget how good it feels to get up and start your day with prayer. And
Sure.
It's not just prayer, it's focused prayer. I got 4 minutes of this, 4 minutes of that, 4 minutes of that. And what I found that, it's, anytime you spend time with God and prayer and early on in the day, it's never just 4 minutes here. It just explodes. It was just fascinating. And I'm like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? It's like going to the gym, right? It's like a good gym. You never regret a good workout at the gym or a good workout at the track. You never regret eating your fruits and vegetables, right? You just don't forget doing things right, So anyway,
absolutely. Well, I'll tell you this. You're exactly right. I never regret doing the wrong thing, but I'm sorry. I never regret doing the right thing. I always regret doing the wrong thing. That's a good point.
Right.
I love it. Well, guys, we are a little past on time, but this has been very awesome. It's really, Kayla, I appreciate you sharing what the wins that you've gotten, because it's got my wheels turning, right? I gotta get refreshed on some things. I got some stuff to take care of, right?
Yes.
This is good. Awesome. Well, all right. I hope everyone's going to have an awesome day. It's going to be a wonderful day if we make up our minds to make it a great day, which, honey, I plan on doing. Okay. As for me and my day, it's going my way. Oh my gosh. Well, hey, it's been fun, guys. I appreciate Kayla, Billy, Martinez. You guys are awesome for being on here. And let's start up another conversation in the morning. We'll have some good time there. And by the way, Martinez, thank you for bringing up that 12-minute prayer, because I really am fascinated by that. Like, I really would love to structure that in a way that is fruitful for not just me and as an individual, but maybe even as a body. So I appreciate you sharing that. You yourself have said, by the word of the bishop, we're going to give this thing a whirl.
My first thing to do this morning is, one thing I need to do is actually look up the study. I want to read what he was reading about, just as a reference, because, it's not that I don't.
Oh, no, absolutely.
It's not that I don't believe him, or anything like that, but it's like, it's just like confirmation. And but I want to read it, but I'm whether I find it or not, I'm still, man, I'll always pray, right? So.
Oh, absolutely.
It's gonna be good for me regardless. But I just like to hear what the carnal world has to say about it. In light of the fact that,
right.
That's not who they are.
Yeah.
So that's so.
Well, actually, here's the interesting thing. The lady that he quoted is a Christian. Her name is Carolyn Leaf. And she's actually a very amazing lady. And she's been talking about how, in other words, proving the idea of the things that God asks us to do in our spiritual life, how they do relate to your well-being. The ideas of your faith is not only a spiritual matter, but it's a matter of intellect. The Bible says we are to renew our minds, right? In other words, you have to change the way you think. and that's done by the Spirit and the Word. Well, these things actually do have a effect on you, like a tangible, measurable effect, not just in people's perception per se,
Right.
but how you so it is. She's a very Brittany found her a while back ago and told me about it. That's a statistic I did not know that she said, and when he said it, it was just like, dude, that's tangible. That's exactly like 12 minutes, 8 weeks. Psst, I don't even, like, I'm like you. I want to know more, but I don't even need to know more, because like that's like saying, hey, I want you to eat something green every day. Psst.
You're right.
Let's roll, man. I'd like to know a little more about that, but I mean, let's go.
Let's go.
Walk around the block, right? Let's go. I'll pick up the details later.
I mean, like, you're exactly right, and it's not. And again, I just love it, because I have no doubt that God's people are the most intelligent people ever. Period. It's just but as you read the Genesis through Revelations, there's no empirical studies. You know what I mean? There's like, but when you put science on it, God doesn't follow science. Science follows God, right? And so I love it when the science kind of confirms what we already know, and then it's just great to like put it down on paper so you can kind of look at it from a different lens than just faith and believing. It's
right.
Like there's science out there that actually confirms what God was saying from the beginning.
Yeah. No, I get it. You're exactly right.
What the young lady's name again? What
Carolyn Leaf.
Like a leaf, like her leaf.
Leaf, like on a tree. A leaf fell off a tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Carolyn Leaf. She's had several great interviews with a lot of great church leaders that kind of spell out some of her, I wouldn't say hypotheses and theories. It would be, facts. So yeah, she's a very interesting lady. Very, very interesting lady. And I think it will be edifying. You like that? Edifying.
I love it.
All right. Well, hey, love you guys. Be blessed. Be great. We'll see you tomorrow. 7 a.m.